Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into a really fascinating review of a modern classic. It's C. Rajagopalachari's retelling of the epic, the Ramayana.
Often just called Rajaji's version.
Exactly, Rajaji's. And our goal here is to really understand how one of the great statesmen of the 20th century took this overwhelming ancient story and just made it so accessible for a new audience.
And that context is so important for you to grasp. Rajaji wasn't just, some author summarizing a book. He was a major leader in newly independent India.
Right.
So he was looking for ways to ground a modern identity in that classical wisdom. His version is, it's a very carefully designed shortcut, really praised for its simplicity and its moral clarity.
That brings us right to his authority, his whole intention.
Yeah.
Rajagopalachari wasn't just a thinker. He was India's last governor general, a huge figure.
A very big deal.
And he takes the original Sanskrit epic, which is just massive, tens of thousands of verses, and boils it down to this tight 300-page narrative.
And the reason for that, the intention, was explicitly democratic. He really wanted this epic to be accessible to absolutely everyone.
So not just for scholars.
No, especially for young people. For anyone outside of those classical academic circles, he uses this simple but really elegant English that keeps the ethical power and the devotion of the original, but you don't need a PhD to get it.
Okay, but hold on. If you're condensing it that much, doesn't that mean you have to strip away a lot of detail? Maybe even some of the theological weight? How do you do that without losing the soul of the story?
That's the genius.
Yeah.
That's the genius of his style.
Yeah.
He avoids getting bogged down in all the ancient details. His narrative is really built for a modern reader.
So what does that look like?
He tells the story, Prince Rama's journey, the exile, Sita's abduction by Ravana, the big battle. He tells it all in what one source calls the voice of a wise elder.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's still profound. It lets the moral journey, the arc of the story really shine through, more so than just the plot points.
What really stood out to me in the sources was the structure. They make a point of saying that each chapter ends with a short reflection, a little moral takeaway.
Exactly.
And that changes it, right? It's not just a story anymore. It feels more like a spiritual guidebook.
And that decision just hammers home the core themes. It makes them inescapable. When you read this version, you immediately get dharma righteous duty through Rama's character.
The perfect son, the perfect king.
Right, and you feel the power of devotion and love between Rama and Sita. And maybe most importantly, you see the immense weight of sacrifice and faith from characters like Hanuman, Lakshmana, and Bharata.
But let's be fair here. The sources also mention the critiques. By making it so easy to digest, some argue he sacrifices the poetic genius and the sheer complexity of the originals. Some readers might find it too moralistic or simplified, especially if they compare it to the epic poetry of Valmiki, the original composer, or the spiritual intensity of, say, Tulsidas' famous version.
And that's a completely valid point. But I think the consensus is that it's not trying to be better than them. It's the perfect entry point.
An introduction.
Exactly. The simplification works because it finds this perfect balance between deep reverence for the source and just pure readability. It avoids getting too deep into theological debate, so it feels culturally authentic without being, overly religious for a general reader.
So it's clarity first.
Clarity first. And that successful balance is why the review we looked at gave it a resounding 5 out of 5-star verdict.
So the core takeaway for you, listening to this, is that this retelling is really a masterpiece of distillation. It's timeless storytelling, completely guided by duty and faith, and it's just an ideal way into an epic that has shaped a civilization.
And that leaves me with a final thought for you to chew on. If Rajaji's great strength was balancing that reverence with readability, what specific dharma from the story? It could be Rama's commitment as a king, or Hanuman's unwavering loyalty as a devotee. What part of that stands out most to you as surprisingly relevant to navigating modern life?